What's up today, guys? This is my 592 XP, and she's blown up. So I'm gonna start off by saying that this saw has 41 hours on it. I've worked in the woods since I was literally like 10 years old with my father. I've ran all Husky saws all my life, as you know if you watch this channel. I'm 35 years old now, so I've been using saws for a long time. I bought this 592 with high hopes that it was going to be the king of all junking saws for bucking firewood. So anyway, one morning I was having my 572 repaired at the local shop, so I was forced to use this saw to go in and log with. So anyway, I went in the woods and I started cutting. I burnt a full tank of fuel and the saw was working great. I then finished my tank of fuel, went out and got my next tank of fuel, and when I started cutting on my second tank, every time I would rev the saw up any amount, it would shut off and die. So I said, well, geez, that's strange. So I started it back up. It would cut, if I didn't rev it hard, I could do some limiting, whatever, and as soon as I would go to cut a log off, it would stall and shut off and cut out. I did that twice, and then I said, well, something's wrong here. And after the second time, when I pulled the cord, pull cord, it literally had no compression whatsoever. So I thought, oh boy, this is interesting. This is not good. So I took the saw down to the shop that I purchased it from, and they tore it all down for me and showed me the damage, which it's cooked. And honestly, when I was running it, it felt like it had sucked a piece of something up. Like it felt like something went through it. When I was running in my hand, it had a weird vibration to it when all this took place. So anyway, here's the cylinder head. And you can probably see there, it's totally scored. It's totally scored there. It's in very, very, very bad shape. So anyway, we had it all apart, and we sent the pictures off to Husqvarna to see what was going to go on with the warranty, because this saw is supposed to have 5-year homeowner warranty. When we sent the pictures back to Husqvarna, the representative got a hold of the shop, and they told me that I had put straight gas into it. Well, I got a hard time swallowing this pill, because the gas that's into it is the gas that was into it when it blew up, and clearly you can see it's blue and it's been mixed. And I do not buy certain brands of oil that aren't blue, because when I have multiple gas jugs on my truck when I'm working in the woods, I always know which one is mixed, because it looks like blue Kool-Aid. So my 572 has around 150 or 160 hours on it the last time we plugged it in. And this saw here has been virtually flawless. I had a little issue with the heated handle grip, which Husky warrantied, and I pulled the pull cord off at once. So 150 hours, no troubles with the 572. It's been a great, great saw. This thing here worked amazing when it worked, but now this has happened, and since their opinion is that I put straight gas in the saw, they are not warrantying it. So I was a little bit disgusted with Husqvarna, not so much the shop that I bought the saw from, because it's not their fault. But here's my air filter, which, it's clean, it's not dirty. It's clean on the inside. It doesn't appear as anything gets sucked through it. The exhaust is not plugged, so I'm not really too sure what actually happened here. And I mean, it sucks because the saw was like almost $2,000, and it's, you know, virtually brand new. I've used it for, I don't even think I had it for a year yet. So my options are, I can rebuild it, which is going to cost me roughly, I think they said 450 Canadian for the piston, the cylinder, everything to make it good again. But they tell me if I rebuild this, as long as I use their OEM parts, my saw is still going to carry its 5-year warranty. So at first, like I say, I was a little bit frustrated, so I just told them to box it up, bring it home. I'll get the parts for it and figure out what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll just sell it for parts. But the trouble is the parts for this saw are not even available yet. This is a brand new saw, but the piston and the cylinder is on back order. So I don't know how long it's actually going to take before I'm going to get the piston and cylinder in my hand that I'll actually be able to do the job and get this back up and working. But it's bad enough that, one, they won't warranty it because they think I straight gassed it, which why would you do that to a saw this expensive? But number two, even if I want to rebuild it myself, I have to wait to do so because the parts are literally not available yet. And you can see my work order, no compression. If revved over half throttle, it would shut off, but the no compression happened after this part. So, like I say, for the amount of hours that's on this saw, it cut an absolutely ridiculous amount of wood as far as the cutting speed and all that goes. But at this point, I honestly wish that I would have just kept this saw from my big saw, and I probably could have bought 2 Mark II 550 XPs for the price that I paid for this puppy. So all I can say is I really hope that once I finally do get the piston and cylinder, when I put this thing back together, I'm going to double check the hours. I know it doesn't have any more than 41. I think the last time it was plugged in it had 38, and I literally only burnt 1 tank, and I started the second tank and the saw failed. So when I get it rebuilt, I'll plug in, double check what's on it for hours exactly, and then we're going to keep a close eye onto it as I finally start to get using it again. But pretty simple to tear it apart, really. Just a bunch of little small pieces, and it comes apart pretty easy. It's not as bad as a small saw. So anyway, that's the blown up 592, guys. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.